Hello friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Shorts Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business, and let's wake up the football gods up here. How's everybody doing tonight? Unfortunately, as we sit 107 days, 23 hours, 13 minutes, and 33 seconds away from kickoff of the 2019 season, this is not the show that I wanted to do tonight. Tonight, I had actually planned on spending time talking about the great work that my quarterback, Dak Prescott, is doing. Miss Jackie. You all know Miss Jackie because she keeps you guys in line in here. She was at Dak Prescott's event last night, the women's clinic, which had about 400 women, survivors of breast cancer, caregivers, and everything else. Spent hours, pictures left and right, all over the place. Dak Prescott, being the guy that he is, giving back and doing everything he can to stamp out cancer. And you love to hear all that. I mean, you feel like it's Saint Dak. And how you doing tonight, Connecticut Cowboys? Philly 76. Victor, how you doing tonight? I see Steffi. Bates, how are you doing? But then, while I was working today, we got the news about Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott in Vegas. And what we have to wonder is, what happens in Vegas, will it stay in Vegas? I've gotten a lot of flack today. In fact, I just got a bunch from my wife because she's like, why are you defending that idiot? Okay, you cannot be up there ranting and raving and trying to defend him. Because here's the thing. I'm not defending. I have said before, I've pled that if there's any Cowboy players that are watching, I always say, as an NFL player, or even anybody famous, now with the advent of the good old cell phone, everybody's a reporter. Everybody is looking for you to mess up so that way they can get it caught on film, because that's their way of becoming famous. Now, Victor, I think something happened. I couldn't hear it. I didn't hear it, but understand, if I had $1 for every time I was called the N-word, I would be able to quit my day job. Growing up, that's all I heard. It was like, you're up, I'm not going to go and do it. But he has to understand, you cannot put yourself out there in that situation. You can't. And then and the thing is anything that happens is bad. Anything that happens is bad. You don't want anything out there happening, okay? You don't want the optics out there, because it looks like he had a few to drink, having fun, we know we got OTAs starting tomorrow and everything. Out there was a girl and everything, and had a few to drink, and maybe he was flirting with another. I'm speculating. I'm just saying. Let's say he was checking out some other girl. His girl saw him. It's like, oh, no, you didn't, you dog. She gets mad. He chases her. It's like, baby, I'm sorry, man. You know how that goes. And again, I don't know. So that was a dispute. There was no pushing her or hitting her or anything like that. There was none of that. But to me, when I watch the video over and over and over again, you see Zeke Elliott over there. He says, I'm good. As in, okay. Nobody touches him. He's walking away. And then for whatever reason, he does a 180 real quick. So to me, that tells me that I heard something. Somebody said something. And of course, when he turns around, what does he say? Do you have something you want to say to me? He got baited. Doesn't excuse him for going through and getting it. Now, here's the deal. Stephen Jones doesn't believe that anything will come from it. Or excuse me, let me stop there. Let me stop right there. Stephen Jones doesn't think that they're going to change how they're looking at his contract extension. They're still going to be working on the contract extension. I look at some of the other things that have transpired around the NFL this offseason, and there's been a whole lot of worse things. Reuben Foster, who is done for the season, tore ACL. He's done. He's gone. So the Redskins went through all the grief and everything else of signing him after his situations where he only got a 2-game fine. No suspension. 2-game fines for all the stuff that he was going through. You look at that. Miss Jackie, how you doing, Miss Jackie? I was just talking about you. Were your ears ringing? So I don't think it's going to be anything, but you never know, because I think the NFL is trying to get away from being the judge, jury, and executioner. So when you read, and this is the thing about it is, when you read a lot of the headlines, because somebody is passing this one around on Facebook that said Zeke Elliott arrested in Las Vegas. It's like, wait a minute. It's like, wait a minute. He wasn't arrested. He wasn't arrested, but that's what's going around. And then, of course, he shoved to me. Again, I'm a homer. I know I'm a homer. But to me, when you say shoved, or the way you make it sound, I shoved. I pushed your ass. Okay? Really? That's it? His elbow didn't even get extended. I'm just saying. That's what I saw. So, again, I'm a homer. But he's got to understand. Can't be in that situation. Cannot be in that situation. Now, the other person, of course, because again, watch the video. I don't want to play it because I'll get shot by TMZ. But if you watch it, just go ahead and just look at everything that transpired up until where he touched the guy, between Zeke and his girlfriend. Just look at that as one thing. Then go back and look at the other part of the tape, and you'll see Zeke go through. He walks. I'm good. Walks through. You see the guy kind of lean forward there. You know he's saying something, and that's where Zeke hears that. Like, what'd you say? You got something to say to me? As a celebrity, you got to understand you can't react, though. You can't react because I said earlier, think about Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley, who said, "I'm not your role model." Charles Barkley knew. People knew. If you go at Charles Barkley, let's say he's eating dinner. Oh, there's Charles Barkley. Let me go over there and talk some smack. Charles Barkley's going to cuss me out or maybe take a swing at me, and I'm going to get paid. That's where Zeke is. Everybody knows, hey, we catch Zeke doing something, we're going to be on TMZ. We're going to be famous. And that's where he's got to understand, I can't go nowhere and pick my nose. So, tomorrow will be interesting with the team all getting back together. We've had so much goodwill. We've had all the Cowboy players and stuff giving back in the community, doing great things. You even had Zeke Elliott paying for the funeral for, the junior high kid that was shot by a stray bullet. You saw him at the hockey game where a kid got hit in the face by a hockey puck, over there consoling the kid. You've seen him do all kinds of incredible things. But one thing I've learned is I can do 99 things right on the job, but if I get one thing wrong, it's that one thing that I did wrong that everybody's going to remember. And unfortunately, that's where we are with Zeke in this whole situation. So there's not much we can do about that one, but we can definitely, Miss Jackie, I envy you for the event that you got to go to last night. That must have been incredible, because I remember she sent me a text about 7 o'clock. She's like, oh, wow, I'm about to go on in. Dak's going to be here. And it was like 8 o'clock. She was sending me pictures. of the event and stuff, and Dak, he's speaking and everything else, hanging out, and it looked like he was just like all in with you ladies and stuff. All the pictures and stuff that you sent, the pictures you've seen online, that's the great thing that you really wish that we could get focused on today. The media can't do the session until Wednesday, so Zeke's just one more day before it goes crazy. Yeah, well, out in the parking lot, they're going to follow him like crazy. Well, Gary, here's the thing, though. You got to understand, when it comes to Dallas Cowboy players, it's totally different than anybody else. And because Zeke was already in that whole thing before, that Roger Goodell can kind of say, you know what, I can kind of put my thumb on the Cowboys. Because here's the thing that people forget about. You forget about what Jerry Jones was trying to do to Roger Goodell. You remember Jerry Jones was trying to get them not to renew his contract. In fact, was trying to put in his own GM. Do you think Roger Goodell's forgot that? You remember the NFL was suing Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones was going to fight it out. But when they went to court or went and had their hearing, it seemed like all of a sudden Jerry Jones did a 180 and said, we're going to pay the fine, and just left. And I think that was where Roger Goodell kind of came back and said, you know what? I got 3/4 of the owners out here. Then if you decide to keep acting up, we're going to take your team from you. How you doing, Stephanie? Thank you for joining in tonight. I appreciate you being here. So I don't know. There's nothing that gets to me that say it's nothing when it comes to a ruling that the NFL has to make with the Cowboys. We never get a break. Mark, Dak was the best host, so gracious and humble, telling everybody how, oh, that's great. Jackie, oh boy, I wish I could have gotten you to live stream some from there. That would have been great. Victor, I agree. Looking at the video, I tell you what, take a look at Nicholson from the Redskins, okay? Nicholson, who last week they dropped the charges against him. Nicholson and his girlfriend were in a full beatdown of another couple. We're talking the people are on the ground, they're kicking, they're beating, and everything else. She broke a bottle on the other girl's head and stuff like that. And the police dropped those charges. So when I look and see stuff like that, when I know Reuben Foster was, with the Redskins till he tore his ACL today, and look at those situations, when I look at this right here, this shouldn't be anything other than a warning. I think he'll probably have more from Stephen Jones coming after him, because if you'll remember, after the 2017 season, there were a couple things with Stephen Jones. This is before Stephen Jones was really out on Front Street like he is now. Stephen Jones had said about Des Bryant can't have the outbursts and things like that on the field like we did the Seattle game. Then he also turned around and said with Zeke Elliott, we cannot have the distractions like this of his own making or not with the Dallas Cowboys. And since that time, you had heard nothing, and I mean nothing, about Zeke Elliott. So I think he's going to hit, when he shows up for practice tomorrow, it's going to be a meeting at the office with Stephen Jones. Now, Stephen Jones, of course, hey, it's not going to affect his contract, but I guarantee there's going to be some words there. There's definitely going to be a conversation there. Oh, Washington, you were there with last night with Dak? Oh, everybody gets to hang out with Dak but me. The security guys to blame in all knowing that people drink at these events. What I'm really hoping for, Malicious Cowboy 86? If you watch the video, whoever it was, they literally stalked Zeke because they followed. You could see it zipping in and out and all that. I'm hoping that somebody else took a videotape as well, and we actually hear what the security guard said. And I'm like I said, I don't. It doesn't change the fact that he shouldn't have bumped into the guy. That he should have just walked away. And my thing to Zeke would be in the future, whenever there's about to be a conflict or something, just run, or hire somebody. You know how like the Rams have that one coach. His job is just to pull Sean McVay back on the field every time he starts drifting. Oh, let me pull you back over here. Let get back. Grab him by the pants, pull him back.
Has a guy like that.
Say what?
I think every team has a guy.
That was the first time I've ever seen that. Zeke needs that guy.
I think the Rams actually have a particular person for that. But
They do. They have, and because they had an interview with him, and he said, "Listen, that's my whole job is keep Sean McVay on the sidelines." Okay, look, find out who that guy is. Give him a job. Your job is to keep a hand. Zeke, come back here, Zeke. Zeke, Zeke had too much drink. Zeke, come on back here. Because you can get set up in a heartbeat. Now, we should have Tyson. Did I miss him? Oh, I missed him. Okay. Didn't hear it ring. Okay. Hold up. See if I can get him back on here. Gotta love the music, don't you?
Can you see me?
Can I see you? I cannot see you yet. I see me up in the corner.
All right. Let me make sure.
It's nice to know that there's somebody who's more technology challenged than me. I feel so much better now. Guys, I had Cowboys Crunk was over here yesterday, and it made me feel so good that he left his phone here. We had to come back and get it because that's something that I would do. Because that's a good thing about having my son work with me, because I'll like, where'd that go with the drill? And I'm looking around, and my son will go, there it is, right there, right there, right there. There it is, Dad. You've walked past it 10 times, and I've just been watching you walk past it. So yeah,
I'm just waiting for this. Hopefully, waiting for this camera to kick in here real quick. But while I'm doing that, man, we can kind of while I'm getting that going. We can get it. We can kind of get into
everybody. Welcome to the
the
West Coast. They're 3 hours behind us, and it looks like the video feed hasn't caught up yet. West Coast. I woke up today feeling so good because Miss Jackie. I don't know if you know Miss Jackie, but Miss Jackie's one of my moderators here on the channel, a longtime supporter of the channel and stuff. She was at Dak Prescott's event last night.
Okay.
With it's like 400 nice ladies, cancer survivors, and people have taken care of attendees. I can't think of the term right now. And she was sharing all these wonderful pictures. My quarterback had spent hours with them, having a great time and stuff. I woke up feeling so good about all the charity work our team is doing, everything else, knowing that tomorrow the whole team gets out on the field and begins OTAs. And then I got the shit sandwich of hearing about Zeke Elliott.
Man, I think we all got a little bit of that this morning, man. Because it's amazing, man. Like, as soon as stuff like this happens, I get a lot of phone calls from Dallas Cowboy fans. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I think I get more phone calls from non-Cowboy fans just making sure that I saw this. Like, I just want to make sure that you saw this. Like, did you see this? Because sometimes West Coast, we know that there's things that you might not have seen. So did you actually see this, West Coast? You know what I'm saying? So, that was kind of the storm that I kind of went into this morning. But more importantly, man, like, just kind of sticking the script, man. Zeke he just has to understand, man, that I always say this: if it's 5 people in the room, that means it's 5 cameras in the room. You know what I'm saying? That's
at least 5.
Because at least 5, because and if, like you said in your case with Cowboy Crunk, if you forgot a phone, that's 6 cameras. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta man, it's just my thing with Ezekiel Elliott is this, man, and I'm still currently trying to figure out what's going on with my camera, but I just want to be proactive at the same time. But
yeah.
But my thing with Ezekiel Elliott is this, man. The Dallas Cowboys have the best offensive line in football when healthy. You know what I'm saying? We all agree with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is this: Ezekiel Elliott, why do you not have offensive linemen in life blocking these types of things and making sure that these things, that you are in a nice bubble? Like, when I see rappers out in the world, they have like
bodyguards.
4 or 5 of their dudes. Like, even if they're not bodyguards, they just homies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got 4 or 5 homies that's just around you, making sure that dumb stuff like this doesn't happen, so that you can still have yourself a good time. Because it looks like Zeke was, there, and it looks like it was just him and his feet and his lady.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you being one of the most recognizable
Oh my
people
God.
in the United States, like you just can't,
You
I'm
can't walk
not
around
trying to
like
be
regular
all
people.
dramatic. Go ahead.
You can't walk around like regular people.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be all dramatic, but shoot, Nipsey Hussle store 15 minutes from my spot right here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I totally understand what, when you get to a certain level, man, you gotta be cognitive of what's going on. Like I tell my wife, like, oh my God, you drive so. I said, I ain't gotta worry about how I drive because I'm focused on everybody around me. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You gotta be more cognizant of the crazy folks that's around me because I know how to drive. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
that's the thing that really, really sucks about Ezekiel Elliott is, man, his support staff, man. His support staff, I mean, I thought David Irving had a horrible support staff, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Ezekiel Elliott's support staff's even worse simply because of the fact that he has way more to lose than a
Yeah.
guy like David Irving. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
So,
I'm going to tell you though, it kind of amazed me.
you want, hey, OG, you want to disconnect and then connect me back in and see if that'll work? Because I didn't pretty much tried
Yeah,
everything.
let me try it. I'll call and call you back. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys, I couldn't believe this one. Okay, now you guys know, I know Demario Davis. Okay, now Demario Davis isn't as famous as Zeke Elliott by any stretch of the imagination, but he is still very recognizable. He's done all kinds of great work up with Flint. He's been across the border and things, doing things and all that, and has raised his stature. When we were in Atlanta, and every time he's done something, he just shows up by himself. He doesn't have a posse, he doesn't have a group, doesn't have a handler, doesn't have his manager. He just shows up. And there was a mall that's in Atlanta that's kind of like Drive-By Central. He didn't know this at the time, but they had set him up for a store thing, and he goes there by himself, and it's like he just about got jacked. So I don't know if Zeke Elliott is that kind of person where he's just down to earth and he just kind of shows up on his own. I do remember when he came in to the NFLPA party a few years ago when I first met him, he came in by himself and he left by himself. So maybe he's just not hanging with a whole bunch of people per se. Let's see if we got him this time.
Rex Wildland, thank you for the super chat.
Hello?
Oh, I got you there. Okay, look, we got you now. All right, welcome to the set, my man, West Coast Cowboys. And, it seemed like just bad things happen out on the West Coast there, man.
So yeah, man, it be like that sometimes, man. Sometimes you need to stay your narrow tail at home, man.
I tell you what, Dallas Cowboy players stay away from Florida and stay away from Arizona and stay away from California, okay? Because it seems like nothing but bad things happen to football players in those areas. But you know what's amazing? You remember what happened about a week ago? They suppressed the evidence, the videotape with Robert Kraft, right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing how nothing ever gets suppressed when it comes to our Cowboys.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. That's a billionaire with his pants down versus a guy who's still trying to make his way in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bigger. And then I'm going to be honest with you, with Roger Kraft, I just feel like, I think I hang around people who make around the same money as me. So I think Kraft probably do the same thing. So I'm pretty sure it's other billionaires in there that had a lot of other interests involved too. Not saying it's right, but not saying it's right, but I just think that Robert Kraft was the main name that we recognize. But I think if you went to Googling, I'm pretty sure there's some names on there that has some money just like him too. Who has some money just like him too. But man, I get what you're saying. But I mean, the thing about it is, Robert Kraft, man, he's in a situation in life where he older, man. So he probably everywhere he goes, no cameras. Everywhere Zeke go, like that's a part of the culture of their age. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like the fear of missing out. Like you got to put everything. I just made a slamming sandwich. If I think it's slamming, I'm pretty sure 3,000 other people are gonna think it's slamming. So let me get it on here. I don't want people to miss out on my slamming sandwich. So they post it, man.
All right, so we're talking about the slamming sandwich. Okay, so I've been accused of saying that, I only talk about bad things that happen with the Eagles. And it's like, of course, I'm a Dallas Cowboy guy. But Carson Wentz is supposedly cleared to actually practice at OTAs tomorrow. What do you think?
I think that's. I think it's great. I think it's great because I need. For anybody that's a Dak supporter, that's as far. And I hate saying that word because it's it shouldn't be a Dak supporter it should just be you should support the Dallas Cowboys, and he is he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. So in essence, you are all the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, thank you for the super chat.
There we go. Hey, shout out to Dallas fan 1982.
What's happening, 1980? Nice to see you, man.
Hey, that's dope how you changed that.
I got all kinds of equipment here. If I ever learn how to use it, man. Got to do something special for the people that really, kind of jump in and do a little extra for this channel and stuff. But
not to end on. I wanted to read something that this is a document that Ezekiel Elliott had to sign, and I think this is the reason why guys like myself and guys like yourself, when we read everything, we take everything in consideration. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, you're a quarterback, you're a player could get suspended and be out the league and you not know why.
Right.
But this is a document that Ezekiel Elliott signed.
1 second.
Philly Cowboys 76, thank you for the super chat.
Okay, sorry about that.
Shout out Philly Cowboys 76, man. Hey,
all right, go ahead with the document.
Y'all don't know, man. Go over to Dallas Cowboys Scouting, man. My name is West Coast. I'll be over there jamming it up, man. So if y'all ever want to holler at me, come holler at me. But yo, I'm gonna read to you.
Subscribe to his channel on Facebook as well, Dallas Cowboys Scouting, as well as check him out on Facebook too. Make sure you get both places because you never know. Life is crazy that you never know. Something might happen to one or the other, so you want to make sure you got it.
Absolutely. Hey, so this was a part of Ezekiel Elliott's agreement when he took his suspension. There was 2 clauses that he had to agree with. Right? It says, with respect to the discipline for violation that involves physical force against a woman in the context of an immediate relationship, per policy is clear. First violation is subject the violator to a baseline suspension without pay 6 game with consideration given any aggravated independent advisors or points. Now, the commissioner has determined that the evidence does not support the finding either migrating or aggressive factors. According to the commissioner has determined these 2 following stipulations. This is what he stipulated to Zeke. Stipulation 1, you are hereby suspended without pay for 6 regular season games subject to appeal. He did that last year. Stipulation number 2, you must have no further adverse involvement with law enforcement and must not commit any additional violation of league policies. In respect, you should understand that another violation of this nature may result in your suspension or potential banishment from the NFL. Now, OG, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question real quick. I'm Ezekiel Elliott. You're my dad. Explain this to me. What does this mean for your son?
Son, you can't F up. You can't pick your nose in public, okay? You can't get caught out. You cannot have a shadow of a doubt. If it's borderline, you're screwed. Keep your nose clean, keep your ass at home, or keep it undercover. You can't do jack.
The first statement is you must have no further adverse involvement with law enforcement. What does that statement mean?
Now, what does that mean? Technically, okay.
What does adverse mean?
Adverse would be you're being arrested. To me, it would be you're being arrested for something. Okay, you've been drunk in public and you've gotten arrested. Or adverse, you've done something where the police had to take you downtown. To me, at least, that's where it should be. That's where the line should be. Now, for me, dude did the whole backflip, and all that. To me, and again, that's where I'm hoping that there's another tape out there. I'm not justifying that Zeke Elliott turned around and got in the guy's face, but Zeke Elliott didn't on his own just get back and say, "You got something to say to me?" Something was said behind it because he turned around and I'm good, and he was leaving, and then all of a sudden he heard something, turns around like, "What'd you say?" Because if you look at everything else that transpired before that time, To me, it was one of those ones that maybe he got caught looking at a girl, and this girl's like, "Oh hell no!" You know, she storms out. He's like, "Baby, come on, I don't mean nothing." You know what I'm saying? We've all been in that situation where we've said something stupid that's pissed off our lady, and then we're trying to make up for it. And it's like, "No, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you," because the moment that everything happened, where he turned around, she's like, "Come on, Zeke. Come on, Zeke." She knows I don't want this to be something bad that's going to impact him. So if it was something that he was doing to her, she would have been like, "F you, you know, hope you go burn in hell."
Yeah, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing that I hate about this stipulation is the fact that it's so vague.
It is
And
vague,
I'm gonna
and
be
it's up
honest
to
with
the
you,
commissioner.
vague is what got Zeke suspended in the first place.
This is true, and that's where we never get the benefit of the doubt.
Because, but guess who does? The commissioner. Because where it's vague, that leaves when there is no decisive answer. That means humans come in, and guess what we know about humans? There's always room for error.
Yeah,
So guess what? He
and
might
of
get
course,
it right every other time, but guess what? He got it wrong when they got it wrong with Zeke, and they didn't got it wrong with Dez with the catch. So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The system is flawed.
and unfortunately, the narrative. Because see, here's what drove me crazy. Immediately after the stuff was going through, everybody is sending me a text message and saying, "Oh my God, Zeke's arrested." And I'm like, "No, hold on, back up," because there's a Facebook page post: Zeke Elliott arrested in Las Vegas. It's like, wait a minute, he was not arrested in Vegas.
Yeah.
He was handcuffed. Okay, they took him out of the situation while they figured out what was going on. Feel like, you know, okay, it's no big deal. Let him go. But the narrative out there is, oh, Zeke Elliott, you know, and the way it's positioned, shoves. Okay, was that a shove to you?
Nah, bro, that was LeBron James down by 2 without a timeout, getting drove on, and
he got me. Yeah.
It's a 50-50 call. You're hoping that since it's LeBron James and this is a guy that the ref don't know, that he gives us the call.
That's it. Right. But the way you saw it, so you see Zeke Elliott arrested for shoving, you know, violently shoving. And it's like, what are you, violently? I was like, what, are you kidding me? Violently shoving?
You know what? You know I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real with you, OG.
Go ahead.
If the shove never happened and just this video of my running back walking around inebriated as he was,
right,
I still feel the exact same way I feel right now.
Oh, he shouldn't have been out there.
Exactly.
He shouldn't have been. And that's where he was wrong, because he's got to understand that he has a target on his back. Everybody is looking to get something on Zeke Elliott because this is my opportunity to have my 5 minutes of fame. I'm trying to remember, was it a basketball game where the guy was, he got cussed out by a basketball player and stuff, and he was like, "Man, and we were just having a normal little banter here and everything else, and you know, everything was all good." And all of a sudden, he comes through here and goes off on me. And it turned out, you remember, I don't know if you remember that. I'm trying to remember. It was a basketball player. And the guy, you know, basketball player went and cussed the guy out. But it turns out this guy had been stalking him, you know, on Twitter and everything else all these times and saying all this stuff. But of course, well, I didn't do anything, man. We were just having a little conversation. And I'm kind of like, this guy had to say something for Zeke to turn around and do that in his state that he heard, you know, you're a whatever, you know, or the Cowboys suck or something like that. And he turned, what'd you say to me? And
exactly.
Sorry.
And the thing about Zeke is that dude where Zeke is not gonna back. He's not gonna back down from.
But he's got to understand. That's where I was saying that. You know how the Rams have that one coach. His job is just pull Sean McVay back on the sidelines.
Exactly.
That's what Zeke needs to have. Look, Zeke. Look, let's just leave. Zeke.
He's not gonna back down.
Yeah, Zeke. Look, okay. You know, it's just like, you know, you need that 30-second delay before you send a text. Are you sure you want to send this text out, dummy? You know, and that's where he's got to understand. You cannot go out in public alone. People are going to be looking for you to do something. So we'll have to.
Especially at situations like this where, you know what I'm saying, where you know that you might be, you know, you're gonna drink, man. Like, protect yourself, bro. Like, if anything, look out for your lady, bro. Like, somebody could have ran up on your lady, and there's no way you could have protected her or anything. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's just too much. You know, there's too much that could have happened with Zeke walking around at 3 o'clock in the morning drunk like that. Like, bro, there's just They're like, you know what I'm saying? There's no position in, if it was a major company, if he worked for a major company would be looking at let him go. I mean, like that's just it's. But
But
praise God, he worked for the
what the
NFL, though.
ironic thing about this whole thing is when you look at everything that he's been doing all off season, between the hockey match where the kid got hit in the face and stuff, he's went over, consoled the kid and everything else. He went through, he paid for the funeral and things like that. He just had his camp on Saturday. So after his camp, he must have flew to Vegas, go ahead and get his party on with his girlfriend and everything else. And you've done all this goodwill, and you do one stupid thing, and it may come back and be the thing that bites you in the ass. Actually, bite all of us in the ass.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Let's just being a parent, I can't overlook that this is the second incident with Zeke and the alcohol. So the first was when he was drunk and he pulled the girl's top down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just from kicking in with my boy YL, the official MC of Dallas Cowboy Nation. You know what I'm saying? I know we all know Zeke is a party animal. That's just what it is. Like, we've known that. People, I talk to Big James all the time. Big James is from Ohio, you know what I mean, from that area. And he said it, he was saying it when he got drafted, that, Zeke is he parties. Like, that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this, like, if you're going to live that life, the number one rule in the game is what? Protect thyself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to protect yourself. You got to understand the investment that you are. Man, if you don't want to do the bodyguards, because I understand some guys don't like bodyguards because they say it makes them feel superior. Whatever. Yeah. Get you some homies, man. Get you two big homeboys, two big offensive linemen who didn't make it in the NFL, put them on a salary, and let them roll. Because guess what's going to happen now? I promise you, Jerry about to put somebody with you, so now you're gonna have some geriatric guy back, hanging out wherever you at. Okay. Not wrong with nobody on geriatrics, but I'm just saying he about to get that Dez Bryant treatment, man, and he probably need it.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't mind having that at all. But let's talk about some other stuff, because we do have OTA starting tomorrow. We got a lot of great stuff that hopefully we'll have. With getting our whole team together.
Absolutely, man. I mean, OTAs is gonna be good too, because I think it's gonna be great for Zeke, man. Because I think it's gonna be great for everybody, man. Because they need to get in that feel of it's about to be back on the grind. It's about to be back on the grind. Like, something like this would never happen to us during the season, because we be focused on what we're supposed to be focused on, and that's football. So I'm happy. Like, I'm praising God. Like, it can't come no faster. Like, man, like it can't come no faster, man. And then, I think Dak Prescott is definitely a huge influence on Ezekiel Elliott. So I think it's good that Dak will be up under Zeke. And I know they're going to have a moment where Dak is going to look at him and be like, bruh. Mm-hmm. And if he don't, then Dak ain't the dude who I think Dak is. And I believe Dak is the dude I believe he is. So if Dak is that leader that I believe he is, he going to look at Zeke and be like, bruh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. And I don't know. Maybe Zeke may need that, man.
Well, he needs something. All I can say is he needs something, because we got to keep his ass out of trouble. Trying to get.
If I am Jerry Jones, though, I'm about to go give him an extension now, though, right now. And I'm gonna tell you, Zeke, man, you lucky, bro. I'm gonna give you this extension right now. You wanna know why? Because you just got in trouble. Was yesterday.
Okay, let's see if I got it right here. You still there?
It looks like trying to add the other person.
Who we sliding up in here?
1980.
Okay, so with
you. Yeah, he was trying to jump in on it. All right, so Carson Wentz is back on the field. Happy for the Eagle fans, because actually I like beating the hell out of him when he is, when he's on the field. We got Dak Prescott saying how much he loves. Why am I not getting you on here?
What Dak Prescott said he loves?
He loves having John Kitna for a coach.
Shoot, I would love having him too, because he knows something. Like that had to have been awkward as heck, having your backup up here trying to teach you, having your backup trying to teach you how to do something. Like, come on, man. That's like my lady, the dude she left coming to my house and being like, yo, I'm gonna show you how to be.
What the hell you doing, 1980? You trying to, trying to look.
That's how he does the intro for all his videos, sir.
Trying to show off and make me feel really old and stuff, I used to look like that, years ago. Hard to believe, but yeah. How you doing tonight, man?
What's up, fellas?
I was
Appreciate
living the
y'all
dream till I heard
talking here,
about
man.
Zeke
I'm
Elliott.
just watching your show, man. Enjoying, trying to. I went live about the situation earlier today. Y'all didn't see it or not, but I just need these young folk, these young guys, to start using their heads just a little bit. Zeke Elliott is one of the faces of the franchise, and he needs to realize every little step he takes, the whole world is watching him, and he needs to make better choices, make better decisions. Stay your ass at home.
Amen
there's
on
nothing
that one.
out there. I learned that, I used to go clubbing back in the day, early 20s and stuff like that. Ain't nothing out there no more, man. Just you gotta grow up. They have to grow up. They just gotta grow up. And that nightlife, all that stuff, that ain't where it is. Especially when you're the face of America's team.
Amen to that. Let me grab these real quick.
Grady Hoff, thank you very much for the super chat. Raymond Walker, thank you for the super chat.
Okay. All right. Had to get those in there. I agree with you because, here's the thing. I'm looking forward to playing football. It's not so much about trying to be out there and hanging in the club and stuff, especially as we have OTAs that start out tomorrow. You got to understand you got that target on your back, and you've got to be ready to rock and roll. That TMZ is making all of their bank off of anything that you do, so you cannot have anything going on. You cannot leave. There's no room for error at all. That they're looking to get you if any way that they can.
Pretty much. Yeah, and I mean, these young kids ain't about to stay in the house, man. That's what they making that money for, man. And like, to be honest with you, like, you want them to have some part of life, because they just got to learn a word that nobody really teaches, and it's called restraint, man. Like, just because you have it, just because you can afford it, and just because you can do it, you're gonna have to learn restraint in your life at some point. Like Zeke, you're gonna have to learn how to say no to yourself at some point, because if it doesn't affect you now, it's gonna affect you somewhere else in life. You know what I'm saying? And
You're
also,
right about that.
it also seems like, Ezekiel Elliott has addicted personalities, man, because, he's very addicted to that life. He's also addicted to being the life of the party, just like on the field, man. When Zeke is on the field, Zeke wants to be the life of the party on the field. Well, guess what? Half the shirts that you see of Ezekiel Elliott in the club is with his shirt off. And I'm going to be honest with you, in the clubs that he's in, the guy with his shirt off, he has money. So he's the focal point. He's bringing that attention to himself. So it's like
that's bad attention, man.
Yeah, a part of.
I get what you're saying. I respect what you're saying, but that's bad attention. And,
it is.
You don't have
that's
to.
what I'm saying. He has to learn how to manage it, though.
What you're saying is you don't have to do wrong to do right. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to
what I'm saying is saying it's not realistic that that any kid under 20, he's 24 years old,
with
has
money,
that type of money in his account. And I'm not, no homo, but Zeke ain't the ugliest dude in the world.
Right.
And so, like, and he muscular with his shirt off. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that, Dak party. Like, let's not be naive.
But there's a way to do it.
Exactly.
Thank you.
There's a way.
Like, nobody know about that boat Dak rented when he was 2016.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well,
hoes know about it.
There's a way.
I was like, can you invite me next time? I'll leave the camera at home.
It's not dry snitching. It ain't dry snitching if you weren't there. You know what I'm saying? But you know that boat I was talking about, he rented for 2016, but nobody heard about it.
Right.
Bird Gang, I do not have a Dak tattoo. Here's the thing. Let me clarify. Let me clarify something to you guys here, okay? The reason why I talk about my quarterback a lot is, one, he's the quarterback, okay? The quarterback is the team, okay? If you don't have a good one, you're screwed. But the main reason why I go through and put out the information about Dak Prescott is just like we saw today, Zeke Elliott arrested for shoving, security guy. The narrative is not exactly right. The whole dink and dunk thing. Take a look at Derek Carr. You might as well call him David Carr. Out there with the Raiders. You want dink and dunk? 6.7 yards per completion. Dak is over the average in the NFL. So I put out there the information to try and offset the crap that you hear all over the place. And if it makes me a Dak, friendly channel, or that I've liked my quarterback, and if it bothers you, unsubscribe. But I'm going to go ahead and put out the information out there the way it is. And believe it or not, most of the information about Dak Prescott, most of the stuff about Dak Prescott is actually positive, believe it or not.
Yeah, you ain't got to unsubscribe. Just understand there's different views, because I'm going to tell you right now, Dak Prescott is a dink and dunk quarterback. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay. Tom Brady is too. Like, you think about this. You drafted Ezekiel Elliott to do what? Because think about this. We was throwing the ball 30, 40 times, and I'm not going to bring his name up because I love me some Tony Romo.
Tony Romo.
We was throwing, do you guys honestly think that we drafted Tony Romo? I'm not Tony Romo. We
Zeke
drafted Ezekiel Elliott so that Tony Romo could throw the ball more? Or do you think we drafted him so he could throw the ball less?
Ball
control. Him so he could throw the ball less. So we were never in the mindset of throwing the ball a bunch of times anyway. That's not the Dallas Cowboys. Go look at Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman didn't throw the ball a time.
Hold on now. You got to understand now. It's not good enough just to win for the Dallas Cowboy fans. It's how you win, okay? Because they don't like the whole – it's fantasy football has killed regular football, okay? Because they want to see, 4 or 5 touchdown passes. They want to see 300, 400 yards. But understanding, the way you win football – time of possession, holding the ball, giving the other team less opportunities, okay? Pounding them into submission, making them one-dimensional that you've scored a touchdown, you took off 8, 9 minutes of the clock, we're behind, we've got to throw the ball, my defense is rested, so when they go out there, they can pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. That's called winning a game. But so many people don't understand that winning the game, that's not good enough. Our quarterback sucks. Joe Montana, most of their offense, the whole West Coast, was predicated on the short passing game. It's all timing routes and giving the player the ball where he can make a move with it.
Yep. Because
that's what we need to get back to, that 2016 formula. That's the way we were so unstoppable that year, because we were able to milk the clock, win the time of possession, beat that defensive line. They knew where we were going. They still couldn't stop it. We had the offensive line to do it. See, now we're trying to get that back with Fredericks coming back and Connor Williams getting better, and this new guy, what's his name, Conor McGregor, was being a swing guy. So hopefully we can get that formula back, because that's the way to suck the life out of the other team.
Right.
Milk that clock, keep their defense on the field, keep our defense fresh. Like Mark said, when they get in the game, they can make they got the stamina and the rest to make those good decisions they need to make to stop their offense. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we need to get back.
Well, here's an intro.
Yeah, man. You also got to remember 2016. The reason why we was winning is because we was winning too. Like the average win total for 2016.
I was there. I know. I was there.
Yeah.
But I'm saying no. I'm being facetious. I'm saying like really winning. Like our average point spread was 13 points. Like we was beating 2016. I think people get the impressions that we were just winning games. No, bruh.
No, we were winning
the breaks off of folks.
Yeah.
The only game that was really close was Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? That was like the only really close game. But bro, part of the reason that we were able to do that is because the running game was efficient. Like we was
the offensive line was solid then too.
Offensive line. That's because that O-line makes football teams. Every football team, both sides of the ball come from the offensive line.
And then
I'm gonna repeat myself. Both sides of the ball comes from it starts from the offensive line. If you got a healthy offensive line, you control everything. You control offense and defense. I keep saying this over and over. Offensive line, a healthy, strong, dominant offensive line, controls the whole game, the whole tempo of a game. And defense side of the ball too. But I get what you're saying.
It's supposed to, because if you got teams that got some boo-boo offensive lines, that's making runs too. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the Dallas Cowboys. Our offensive line has to be the focal point because it takes up 31% of our cap. You know what I'm saying? Like if you a team like Kansas City, your offensive line is trash. Like ain't nothing you can do about it, but just get the ball out quicker. You know what I'm saying? But with the Dallas Cowboys, like what we have already invested in our offensive line, like these dudes have to, like our offensive line has to be dominant. You know what I'm saying? When you only have 100% of your cap. So when you have an offensive line that's taking up 30% of your cap, that means what? Everything has to start and stop at that offensive line.
Yeah.
So you can't give up no 56 sacks. Like
Well,
that, you're paying way too much freaking money.
Now back to the 2016. There was also a couple things that also helped too, because Dak Prescott nobody knew anything about. There was no book out on him. You got a little bit of advantage there because there was unpredictability. The other thing that happened on that too was there was no dominant one wide receiver. Everybody was all bunched around the same because you had Cole Beasley doing well, Terrence Williams was doing well. You know, Dez was hurt the first couple of games, but you had all these guys that were grouped in from about 500 to about 800 yards. So teams couldn't really queue on one person. It was Cole Beasley this week. It was Dez next week. And so having that, not one person that if we shut down, we can shut down the offense. And I'm hoping that's what we're going to be this year because, well, one, we got a hell of a lot of depth on the offensive line. We've got some guys that may get cut on our team that may be starting elsewhere in the NFL off that offensive line. That's how good the depth that we have right now. And if we can get Zeke going and start doing some run-pass options, we only did 6% of our plays last year were run-pass options. And also doing play action. Start making these defense have to do the work to figure out what the hell we're doing as instead of just lining the fuck up and just trying to run over them.
That's Kellen Moore's job right there.
He's got horses. Listen, you got horses now.
Yeah, and you got to remember, like Scott Linehan's last quarterback, you can always think about the type of person or the type of scheme that people are going to run off of what they came out of. Like, he came from freaking Matthew Stafford and Megatron. Like, they weren't running. Matthew Stafford ain't getting outside the pocket.
No.
He ain't doing that. And you got to think, when we brought in Kellen Moore, we brought in Scott Linehan. We brought him in thinking that freaking Tony Romo was going to be our Matthew Stafford and Dez Bryant was going to be our Megatron. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, it kind of made sense. But it's like once you got Dak Prescott, who is more athleticism than he is, he's more bottom than he is top. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay.
Yep.
And that's okay because you can win like that. You just have to make sure that your offense is actually catered to that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that you're exactly right, West Coast. But I think that you got to give him a little bit of credit. And when it matters, Dak can come through. Dak has won.
Yes, but I'm gonna ask you a question right now. On the spot right now. Dak Prescott's best throw that you asked right now. Best throw of Dak Prescott's career right now. Did he or did he not have to get outside the pocket to make the throw? Yes, he did.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what?
You're right.
Right now. There's not one throw. Every throw.
Hey, whatever it takes. If that's what he has to do. Now, you got to remember. Wait a minute. Wait, I'll do respect. Now, you got to remember, he had a broken offensive line for the past 2 years. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, he had no choice but to go outside the pocket and throw the ball. Now, Dak throws better on the run. No doubt.
He does.
Because he's a type.
Which is why you do more bootlegs and things with him. That's the thing that's the thing that bothered me about our offense.
Hey, 1980. But this is what I'm saying.
The ball. Michael Vick said that.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, right? I think a lot of times when people point out factual things about people's game that they automatically assume that it's a negative thing. That's not a negative thing. No, not you. But I'm just saying as soon as I said that Dak is more bottom than he is top, people automatically assume. You want to know why? Because you have this natural premise of what good quarterbacking is already.
I agree with
but what I'm saying is Dak Prescott's not going to fit that mold because his scouting coming into the NFL was that he was a run mobile quarterback. So my thing is this: if you are going to get someone with that strength, you can't fault Dak for being something that he's not. That's what I'm saying.
But hold up. Well, here's the thing, though. Now,
I get what he's saying.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. But let's be honest here. When they drafted Dak Prescott, they did not look at him and say he's going to be our next franchise quarterback.
No, they didn't.
They looked at him and they said, okay, we just need somebody to back up Tony Romo and stuff. He's there in the 4th round. We kind of like him. You know, who knows? You never know. You might get lightning in a bottle. But Oh.
Hey,
Stephanie, thank you very much for the super chat.
Shout out. Hey, boy, West Coast is on YouTube too, goddamn.
Okay, yeah.
Yell at your boy, man.
Right.
I'm a little aggressive on my side of the street. I ain't gonna lie. You know
But
what I'm talking about?
if you guys don't know, okay, we got Cowboys fan 1980. Make sure you go to his channel and subscribe to him. He's another one of these great YouTubers. We've got my man Tyson West Coast, who's up here as well with Dallas Cowboy Scouting. Please go over and subscribe to his channel as well, man.
I'm trying to find your channel, West Coast.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like I literally just got on YouTube like 2 weeks ago, and it was honestly because of OG right here called me and was basically, you know, he was like, man, you doing a great job on Facebook, you killing it, and you know somebody be, you know, you be feeling all good, and then they be like, but you suck at this right here, and I'm like, wait,
I didn't say you suck. I didn't say you suck.
Well, he didn't say you suck, but he just said. He didn't say you suck, but he just said you were not doing it.
Stuart Morrison, thank you for the super chat.
Hey, I just subscribed, man. I just subscribed.
I appreciate it.
There you go. Okay.
But I'm over here because OG told me, like, he didn't say I suck, but he was like, bro,
Oh, no.
you're doing
No,
this, why aren't you doing that?
You
So,
need to kind of spread around, you know, because you have a lot of knowledge and everything else. I enjoy actually talking with you and everything else. So it's like, yeah, come on over to YouTube. So, because see, I'll be honest, I don't do that much on Facebook and stuff like I used to. Because it's hard. You guys don't understand. It takes me an hour to set up before I do a live stream and everything else with the equipment and stuff, and to be able to
do these crazy voices.
And things like that. So it takes time to get this stuff up. You do the videos and the research, and you really have to kind of focus on it if you're really trying to do well on one or the other. And I try and do everything on YouTube real well, and it's just like, you know, Facebook's kind of an afterthought at the moment because I just don't have enough time. If I could do this as a career, oh yeah, I'd be, you know, trying to kill it on Facebook. But I got a day job, I got a wife and everything else. You all know about having a wife and everything else, you know. Because because you know we're walking sometimes behind our wife trying to say, honey, I'm sorry, just like Zeke was on Saturday, baby, I'm sorry. Come on, talk to me, honey. But so definitely give these guys some love and stuff because, you know, they've got a wealth of knowledge and things. You know, everybody brings something a little bit different. So now that we're going to move on, we're going to pray. We're going to pray that nothing happens with Zeke Elliott as far as the suspension or anything like that. Like I said, now you scared me, West Coast, with you bringing up the letter of the law there of what he signed. That now is in the back of my head, and you know I've already been worried about.
I'm gonna send that over to you, OG, because I think everybody needs to have that. I'm gonna send that. I'll send it over to you as soon as we get up off here.
You know, because I've still been worried about Tyrone Crawford. You know, because again, when it comes to Dallas Cowboy players,
I didn't hear it. What is it now?
There was we were able to, well, you know, they put out his probation clause the suspension clause that he took, you know, because basically it's a settlement. You know what I'm saying? When you seek the settlement, you have to agree to terms. And 2 terms that he had to agree to was the first one is you are hereby suspended without pay for 6 games, regular season games subject to appeal. That he did that term last year, right? The second clause in it says you must have no further adverse involvement with law enforcement, and you must not commit any additional violations of league policy. In that respect, you should understand that another violation of this nature may result in suspension or potential banishment from the NFL.
So he wasn't arrested though. So does that go with that? I mean, he wasn't arrested.
Now I'm gonna tell you, you know the sad thing about this 1980 is we are professional talkers and communicators, and when you heard that and when we hear this, it's very hard for us to explain it or understand it. Want to know why? Because it's very vague. And the same thing that me and OG said earlier, when they suspended him initially, guess what? It was very vague.
All right. So
I would rather this be specific and say you have to be arrested. But since it doesn't say that, it just says. You see what I'm saying? Because
it's how it's interpreted.
It basically goes exactly. It goes down to what you interpret the word as. You must have no further adverse involvement. It doesn't say arrestment. The word
because let's be honest, he was never arrested with what he was suspended for 6 games. So, but okay, but we're actually running out of time here. But I do want to get on to the situation here because of Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, apparently there is no movement on that contract at all. Anybody worried?
Nah, I think he's good. the whole rumor about him wanting, more money, I think this is just my opinion. I may be wrong, and I don't mind. Y'all know me. I don't mind being wrong. I think the media and stuff surface thing. They create things for Dallas, for Cowboy Nation or the Cowboys organization to kind of stir up stuff.
You think?
Just to be doing it. Like, seriously. I think Amari's good. Amari, honestly, I think he needs to go ahead and give us a full season. Before he starts, or his agent starts wanting more money.
Yeah, but he's on the last year of that contract, so that means then you got to franchise tag him.
Right? Yeah, I mean that's true too. Yeah, you're right too. But I'm just saying that's just me personally. I mean, I get it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do something before that. But I've always been like, okay, give me at least almost a full season. He hasn't played a full season with us.
All right, so then we're also talking about.
I don't think you're really gonna have with Amari Cooper, man. You ain't gonna have no choice. And to be honest with you, bro, like when you trade for somebody like him, he doesn't have to prove anything because we went out and traded for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, by us trading for him, that said that he already had enough. Now his salary hit is $13.94 million. Now there's no way that the Cowboys are gonna go into. Because you got to think, Odell Beckham is 18. The franchise tag is the combination of between the three highest paid players at your position.
Top five.
Now, there's rumors out there that Julio is supposed to get a dub. He's about to get $20 million. Now, next under him is Odell Beckham Jr., who's $18 million, right? Odell Beckham is $18 million. Remember this number right here, $18 million. Yeah. Julio is $20. When we released Dez Bryant, we went after who?
Sammy Watkins, 16.
How much did we offer him? $16 million. Now, Sammy Watkins got hurt this year, but he only got $550.
Now, I don't know that we offered him 16. He got 16.
Well, that's what was put out there. That the offer was 16, and he turned us down and went to the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
If we offered 16, I hope we didn't offer 16. That would have been way too much for Sammy Watkins in my mind.
Well, I mean, yes. Now, hindsight, looking at what he did last year to be too much. But what I'm saying is this. Amari Cooper is 2.5 years younger than Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
You know
and doesn't have the injury history either.
And he doesn't have the injury history.
Or the getting along with people issue either.
Exactly. So, you traded for him. He's your first-round pick, man. He's going to get some.
They got to pay him.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Fisher said that Amari Cooper had never even sent that. That's what Mike Fisher said.
Well, there's a lot of that seems to go around because remember they were talking about Zeke Elliott was going to hold out because he won a new contract and he wasn't going to be coming to OTAs. It seems like he's been to all of them, hasn't he?
Exactly.
Thank you. And of course, the only person we actually had anybody say anything, of course, was D-Law basically saying I'm not getting my shoulder, which I think was kind of a mistake. The fact that we haven't had anybody going through and doing, the whole bullet to your head, gun to your head type deals, like Russell Wilson and stuff did to me is kind of cool. The fact that Dak Prescott's like, regardless, it's life-changing money. I'm not worried about it. They'll get this thing done. To me, at least, makes me feel good.
Dak know lightweight. He got us over a barrel. Like if we don't pay Dak, you gonna throw Mike White, Cooper Rush in there?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Like Jason Garrett's gonna put his possibly final season on the run for a guy that he ain't never played. Yeah, right. Dak know what's up.
Well, here's the thing with Kellen Moore. The question will be: is Kellen Moore gonna be the be-all, end-all play calling, or is Jason Garrett going to be right there too, since his ass is in the sling?
Well, can I ask you a question, Mark?
Go ahead.
Who got the final word in your house?
Who got the final word in my house?
Yeah.
We're not talking about my house.
He got it like that.
No, because you know what? I found out listen.
Hey, if your son in the room, hey, I told you when you had
No. It was fun. No. See, you know what? I love my wife to death, man. I am thankful for my wife and everything else. But see, I made this thing. I said, listen, guys. I'm going to say this now. I said, if y'all go to my wife and say this, okay, I'm going to deny it. I said, you have to understand, all women out there are a pain in the ass. It's just a question of which pain in the ass do you want to spend the rest of your life with. Okay, my brother said that to me like 30 years ago.
I ain't in that one.
So, I got finished with my live stream. My whole it's like, so I'm a pain in the ass, huh?
Did y'all see that Zeke video? Let's bring that back. You know, you have one of those abrupt subject changes.
Baby, it's just like just jokes, baby, just jokes. But no, so I'm gonna stay away from that question right there. No, but it seemed like when everybody's ass was in the sling last year, when we were 3-5, and they were talking about Scott Linehan being fired over the bye week and possible replacements for Jason Garrett, it seemed like the offense opened up a little bit more. Maybe I'm mistaken, but didn't it seem like they were doing a little bit more because their jobs depended on it?
Before or after Coop?
Well, after Coop.
I mean, Dak said that he wasn't very comfortable with that the first week. I mean, what we asked from Dak, that was ridiculous. That was a ridiculous task. Like, Aaron Rodgers has had wide receiver by committee for the last 3 years, and how has that worked out for him? Not very well. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna ask that from a guy making $600,000. Like, it was a setup. Like, it was 100% a setup. And I'm gonna tell you like this: if I'm Dak and I would have made that work, I'm worth $40 million now. If he would have made wide receiver by committee work, he would be worth $40 million a year right now, because that means he would have had a successful season. And I'm there. I love me some Allen Hurns. Go buy his own book. Allen Hurns, Delonte Thompson, Lance Lenore, Noah Brown. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of the guys that you don't even know if you a Cowboy fan, you might not even know who they are. You know what I'm saying? And if he can make it work with that, Dak Prescott's a $40 million a year quarterback. So I'm actually kind of happy that real life happened. Like, that was an unimaginable task. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Cowboys should have known that he wasn't going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
On top of it, now here's the thing that still was crazy to me, because during the preseason, he had 4 series. 4 series, no Zeke, with all new receivers. So the first week of the season was really like preseason, the first couple of games on top of it with all these new guys.
Yep.
And I understand the concept that we want to make sure everybody goes into the season healthy, but one thing that always seems to happen with Zeke is, if you look at it, every year he starts off real slow, and he never plays in preseason. And this year, with the way our schedule is backloaded, we need to come out like gangbusters that first month of the season. First 6 weeks, we got to just keep getting W after W and start stocking this stuff up. We cannot start off slow at all. It's going to be hard to maintain.
If I was the Dallas Cowboys, with the way Zeke is set up, I would pay him week 4. I mean, I would play him the last place preseason game. 2 reasons. The reason why I play him week 4 is because, 1, he's going to be playing against very minimal competition. So that means, 1, he's instantly going to get he's going to get a big run, and he's going to get that mojo going instantly fast. You know, that momentum and that confidence. He's going to get that going. And I would play him and then 2 series, there's nobody out there in week 4 that's going to be able to really put no big hits on Zeke anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, you put his body out there without really putting him out there, because he gonna dog walk them dudes. So then after that 4th game, you tap him on his helmet. I mean, after that you don't even let him play the whole game, but let him play a couple series. He feels that confidence. You get him in there, and then he takes that and goes into the season. Like, that's what I would kill all this. Play him in the 3rd game and then make him wait another week, because you basically just start all over. You know what I'm saying? You ever put something in the microwave, run upstairs, your wife asks you, go get this, go get that, go get this. By the time you didn't get back in here, your food cold. You know what I'm saying? If you rewarm it, it don't even taste the same. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense to us. Yeah, it don't even taste the same. And Mark, but they're not going to do that.
Yeah, let me give some shout-outs here. I see my man Joseph Hartley. I see Tamira. I see Stephanie, Philly 76. I see Law Nation in the house. Dave, South of Heaven, Gene, Patrick, L, Jeffy, Malicious, Cowboy 86, Steffi, Miss Woofle, Joe Lucas. Thanks everybody for joining into the show. I've got my man Dallas Cowboys 1980, as well as Tyson West Coast Dallas Cowboys, and we're actually in a little bit of overtime. We'll go on for a few more minutes here. Thank everybody for joining us. And Miss Jackie, did I see you say that you said power of 4 to Dak last night? I'm curious, what was the response to that one? So what are you looking for these next couple of days of OTAs? Because we'll finally have the whole team on the field. We're going to end up having a lot of competition. I think we got a bunch of guys that are going to be cut off this team that people might not expect, some veterans. So any battles that you're going to be looking for?
I think just not even, man, I just want to see if they leak some information about Travis Frederick, man, because Travis Frederick, man, I'm going to tell you, man, I need to know, do I got Travis Fredericks, or do I just got Travis Fredericks? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know who I got, because that's going to determine what I do with Joe Looney, because he's on a one-year deal. Like, that's going to determine if Connor McGowan is going to be able to play this year. That's going to determine if Connor Williams is going to go play guard or is he going to play tackle. That's also going to determine, like, what the hell I'm going to do with Lyle Collins. And I'm going to tell you, the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to be very, very weird with how they do Travis Frederick. Watch. You know what I'm saying? But think about this, y'all. We didn't even know that he had the disease until preseason. You know what I'm saying?
He probably didn't even know.
He didn't even he didn't know until preseason. So it's like, you know, like, I'm very curious on how the Cowboys how they handle this, man. Like,
it's going to be really hard. I really don't put too much stock in the OTAs and minicamp and all that. It's really hard to see what guys are doing when they're out of the pads. I let the pads do the talking. The pads do the talking.
Yep.
So without that, you know, shorts, t-shirt, and helmet. I play the game on different levels, so I understand where the difference comes in when you got on shorts and t-shirt and cleats or then full pads. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
best for him because
I'm really not going to get involved until training camp. That's when I want to see guys. That's when you ask that question on who's fighting for position, because it gets real nasty. It gets real dirty in training camp because guys are trying to win jobs, trying to feed their family, keep their household, and etc. So minicamp, OTAs, I really, you know.
Well, here's the thing you got to hope for, because you see the Redskins, Reuben Foster, play number 3 of OTAs, messed his knee up and was carted off. He is done for the year.
Yeah, anything.
We saw Sean Lee, I think, in the second play in 2014, tear his knee up in OTAs. So.
My mama always said,
it's good to get the guys, see what kind of shape they're in. You know, see what kind of shape they're in, get their win back from being off season, all that stuff. You know. But,
now, what the Cowboys did last year. What they did last year was they kind of took things kind of slow, and you notice with the rookie minicamp, they basically had more walkthroughs than anything else. They're kind of taking the guys through kind of slowly and getting them, instead of going 1,000 miles an hour the first day. You remember, Sanjay Lau, the first OTA practices, they didn't even throw the football to the wide receivers. He ended up having them doing basically like stop drills, where basically they're running a route, they'll do their cut, and they have to stop on one foot and see exactly where they're planting, because he was a tactician on keeping the routes exactly precise and stuff. So they may not be doing that much work during these 3 days, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think we actually have cameras in there until Wednesday. I think
I'm sorry, Swaggy D. You need to slap yourself talking about you'd rather have Covington over Woods. You need to stop that right now. Don't believe the hype. don't ever believe it. I know, because I'm gonna tell you, that present that you don't know always feel better than that present that last year's present, because you are, you didn't already had that and played with it. You know what I'm saying? But don't disrespect that present, because the Rams realize how good Antoine Woods was, and guess what? Instead of giving that ball to Gurley and hitting them outsides, what did they do? They bled us on the inside. So don't disrespect that hot boy, man. Talking about he take Covington over Woods. Man, that's the human log, man. He about to get paid too. He ain't gonna be a Cowboy long. He ain't gonna be a Cowboy long.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. But see, that's the Patriot way. Understand, that's what New England does, is they get guys, they let them play real well, they let them go goodbye, get a fat paycheck elsewhere, and I end up getting a compensatory pick. So every year they got 11 or 12 picks every year. Shout out to Miss Jackie. Thank you very much for mentioning me to Dak last night. I appreciate that. Wish you could see the smile on his face when I said, and he said, were I part of the group? And I said, yes. Met Mark and Japu. Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Hey, Mark. Can I clean up? Hey, Swaggy, you got to remember, Woods sucked against the Ram because he tore his labrum on the second drive, remember?
Yeah.
They took him out, and they put Karan Reed, number 51. Karan Reed was only on the Dallas Cowboys. Karan Reed was on.
He just got a ham sandwich, didn't he?
Week 16, he was on the practice squad.
Right.
That's the only reason. So, yeah, he did suck against the Rams, and the reason why he sucks is because he tore his labrum. He had surgery on it that Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? But, man, he going to get paid.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few of those guys are going to get paid. But I'm happy that we've got the depth that we do because we can kind of put fresh bodies in there and things. As long as we don't get caught. If you remember when we played against the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers was a master of catching us as switching guys, and we're getting flagged for 12 guys on the field.
Oh,
yeah.
Smart football player.
Well, that he is. I mean, I hate the guy. I'm glad he got killed on Game of Thrones, but it seemed like once he was on, it seemed like the show went way downhill the last 2 episodes. But that's just maybe that's just the hater in me.
That's what happens when you try to kill 5 villains in 4 shows. Like, come on. Instead of having like an hour and 40-minute shows, they should have just did extra weeks, man. It was so rushed. How you kill the White Walkers, Cersei Lannister, Jaime Lannister, goddamn,
in
and
3 weeks.
Take down the Red Keep in 2 episodes, bruh.
And then make Brandon the king. How the hell you gonna make Brandon the king? Come on, man. What the hell was up with
that? And then we did all this for Brand the Builder.
Brand the Broken. Brand the Broken. I was like, what it reminded me was it was like it was the last week of school, and we're just mailing it in because we're going on vacation. Put anything out there.
I have no idea what y'all talking about.
Hey, OG, you know what I call it? This is what I call it. Me and my wife, we have this thing. We go to the movies like 2 or 3 times a week, and this is what we do. We say the production company ran out of money. Like 2 days before we were supposed to be there, like, oh, snaps. Bruh, we ain't got no more money. Hey, bro, we got to wrap this up. Hey, the White Walkers, we going to kill 5. Lannister, you died in 6. Why? Because we ain't got money for weeks 19, 11, 13, 14.
I was just like, that's it? I was like, that's it? That's it?
Exactly.
And the thing that really killed me was basically everybody's single. Ain't nobody who was in love is left. And Jon Snow, how the hell you got to go out to the north and shit?
Yeah, that made no sense, bruh. And then, can I ask you a question that made really no sense? I'm going to ask you a question that made really no sense.
Look, he's like, what the fuck?
Hey, OG.
Yeah.
How do they even know John killed her? There was nobody in the room with him when he killed her. It was
him and the dragon. This is
the
true.
dragon didn't even know he killed her. So are you telling me Jon Snow went down there and told her to smell? No, Jon Snow. You did not go down there and tell her yourself. You are not that damn noble. No.
Hey, I got a question. West Coast.
What's that?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
agree. I got a question.
Go ahead.
Why we younger than Mark, but we don't have me and you? We don't have no hair, but he do.
I ain't gonna lie. I got the LeBron James hairline. It's the gift from the daddy.
Okay, so I do have something on the young guys at least. I got a full hair.
I'm like Jason Witten, man. I'm gonna just get some money and just put it on top. You know what I'm saying? When you get to that point in life, you don't deny, you replace. What the hell you mean?
No, go ahead, say it, bro.
Oh, wait a minute. That's what they got the little blue pills for. That's what they got the little patch of hair, man. We're going to throw something on top of that.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, with that being said, it seems like we have gotten off of the football. All right. West Coast will give you your last words for the night. Tell everybody where to find you and stuff.
Hey, make sure that you find me over there on Dallas Cowboy Scouting right here on YouTube and on Facebook. And, make sure, we hold on, stay strong. Shout out to the Hot Boy Nation. Shout out to OG for putting me on. Shout out to 1980. You was at the draft, right?
Yeah, I was.
I seen you. I remember your facial lineup. Your barber's nasty, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Salute to you. Salute to his barber. That's all I'm gonna say. When I come to your town, I need a cut. So I remembered your edge up. That's how I was like, there's only one other person I know edge up that clean.
All right.
And it was you. So I remember 1980.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Hey, my barber is me, so that's why it's so neat, But
okay, I need a cut then. So we're gonna do a show, me sitting down, you cutting, we talking.
Okay, yo.
All right, tell everybody where to find you.
All right, Dallas Cowboy fan 1980 right here on YouTube. Same thing for Twitter, same thing for Facebook, man. Hey, appreciate you, Mark Holmes, letting me slide in through the back door.
What?
West Coast, man.
What?
West Coast, man. You're a smart dude, man. Hey, I need to hook up with you, man. We can link up, do a link or something like that, man. Do a live stream together.
I require you to have your shirt on, though. I just want to let you know that. You gotta have your shirt on my channel. You ain't doing that to me, bro.
All right.
You said what?
You do that disrespectful stuff to OG. You ain't doing that to me, bro. You ain't coming over my page with your shirt off. Nah, we ain't getting down like that, bro.
Yeah, that was, you know, it's kind of like,
you ain't gonna
like what the?
us like that, man. Put your shirt on, man.
yeah, you can do that on your channel and stuff like that.
Get out of here, man. Make sure y'all stay prayed up and cowboyed up, and you never know what the day's gonna bring you, man.
Amen on that one. Thank you guys for joining. And let me make sure I get these last super chats.
Stuart Morrison, thank you very much for the super chat. Punch Drunk Savage, thank you very much. And Junebug, thank you for the super chat.
Okay, hopefully that was a little bit better. That sounded more like an alien. You guys said the other one was kind of evil. So let me know which one that you guys like better on that one. But I appreciate everybody's support, everybody coming in the channel and doing everything else. I cannot do this without you. Shout out to Miss Jackie, who was at Dak's event last night. I know you had a ball. And thank you for representing the channel and everything else. And thank all the moderators who've been in here, keeping everybody straight. And Eagle fans, yes, I got it. Carson Wentz is back. Hopefully he'll be able to stay upright so my Dallas Cowboys can kick his ass 2 more times this year. But with that being said, guys, we've been in overtime, and it is time to turn out the lights because this party's over. Thank you very much for all you guys do, and we will see you first thing in the morning.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old